You've reached the Afterlife Hotline. Press 3 for demonic dolls, cursed basements, and the spooky couple who made it all famous. Stay on the line to join your hosts, Ashley and Daneisha.
Hey besties, welcome back to the Afterlife Hotline, your paranormal pit stop where the ghost stories are spooky, the jokes are bad, and the vibes are always slightly cursed.
I'm Daneisha.
I'm Ashley. And today we're talking about the demon hunting, ghost chasing power couple of the paranormal world. Any guesses? Any guesses, anybody?
Do I hear a...
Ed and Lorraine Warren, aka the OGs of I Saw a Ghost and Made It Everyone's Problem.
Honestly. Okay, before we dive in, any spooky updates on your end? Because I swear, my cat's been staring at corners again.
So same. First of all, Athena does it all the freaking time. She always stares at the wall behind me on the bed, and it scares me so freaking bad. I'm like, what the hell are you looking at? There's literally nothing there. Yes. So she was also pacing around the closet like it owed her rent. Like, excuse me, ma'am. You don't pay rent around here. Anyway. And also, I started watching this ghost hunting show where the host screams at spirits like he's mad that they didn't Venmo him. So
it's giving very Zach Baggins.
Yeah.
Is that how you say his last name? Baggins?
I think so.
Okay. Because, like, are you from the Shire?
Yeah. The dramatics. Very much dramatics. Also found out, I think, were you the one who told me why he has to wear the glasses?
No.
Do you know why he has to wear the glasses?
No.
So supposedly, I guess something had happened and hold on, uno momento, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I need to do a learned here. Yeah.
I can't remember who told me it. I don't know if it was Will or if it was Steven that told me. I think it might have been Will.
Because it definitely was not me. Who be spitting paranormal facts that isn't me? Probably, because I think he likes that show.
So apparently, Zach Baggins wears prism glass. It's not apparently, he does. He wears prism glasses due to permanent double vision and eye crossing, a condition he attributes to his experiences in the demon house in Indiana. He has stated that the symptoms, including the double vision and eye crossing, have been ongoing and have not been fully explained by medical professionals. He also says that some people have experienced similar issues that cleared up, were cured, or didn't clear up, and that it caused some professionals to move out of state, according to an interview on Daily Dead.
Wow.
So essentially something happened so bad at the thing that it literally caused him to have vision loss. Yeah, I did not know that, and I thought he just wore them to kind of look cool.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
but no, he has like actual eye problems now.
Yeah. But honestly, the disrespect of ghosts just chilling and somebody barging in there trying to invade in their space and be like, "Show yourself," insane.
Yeah. Anyway, so quick podcast update. We are currently working on a listener episode soon.
I'm so excited.
Very excited about this. We have some good ones that I feel like we're going to end up having. And so if you got any creepy tales, haunted family heirlooms by chance, or grandma who casually communes with spirits, send them our way.
Absolutely.
For sure.
We want to hear the stories. We want to hear it all.
Yes. Yep.
Today, we're going to be diving into the infamous cases of Ed and Lorraine Warren, ghost hunters, demonologists, and possibly the original paranormal influencers. They walked so Zach Baggins could dramatically whisper into an empty room.
So freaking accurate. They're the reason why we have an entire franchise about haunted dolls and murder houses, but were they the real deal? Or just really dramatic theater kids with a crucifix?
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Just being a theater.
Yeah.
It's the paranormal, but make it a musical.
Oh my God. I'd watch it.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
That's freaking cool. Okay. So, who were Ed and Lorraine Warren? Ed and Lorraine's spooky love story started the old-fashioned way at a movie theater in the 1940s, where Ed was an usher and Lorraine was probably trying to enjoy a snack without sensing some spirits in the lobby. They fell in love, got married young, and decided that date night would eventually mean ghost hunts instead of dinner and a movie.
So romantic. Ed was an artist who loved painting haunted houses. You know, just your casual hobby. And Lorraine was a clairvoyant who could actually feel if a house was haunted. So they teamed up. Ed would paint spooky looking houses, and then they'd knock on the door like, "Hey, love your cursed vibes. Mind if we take a look around?"
What a way to like try to get into people's houses.
Honestly, like, I think your house looks really spooky. Can I go investigate? That'd be some me shit, though.
Before he became an artist, he was in the military,
yeah,
right?
I want to say Navy.
Yeah. And then like something happened and he ended up getting pretty much like honorably discharged or something because he survived. Yeah, that's crazy. He goes from military and then he's
a demonologist.
Artist, and then he just starts going around and selling his paintings and stuff like that. So real quick bios. Ed was a self-taught demonologist, which, what does that even mean?
On a real note, for those who don't know, a demonologist is a person who studies demonology, which is the study of demons or evil spirits. This can include the study of demons within religious belief systems, mythological texts, and various interpretations of their nature and role. Demonology can also encompass the study of demonic beliefs, practices, and doctrines.
And they both pretty much did this through their Catholic religion, right? They use that as a lot of their...
Yeah, they're both Catholic.
And Lorraine, like we said, was clairvoyant and a trance medium, which meant she could sense things and supposedly go into spiritual connection state. They combined their psychic impressions and religious rituals and art. Yes, Ed painted ghosts to investigate the hauntings.
You know, I think, and I could be mistaken, but I think in the movies he painted the nun.
No, he did. He did. Yeah, I believe he did. Interesting.
Which that is a creepy ass painting.
Yeah, well, it's a creepy ass movie. Creepy ass ghost.
Demon. It's a demon. It's not a ghost. Yeah.
Demon.
Valek is his name.
Huh?
Valek is the demon's name.
I thought you said phallic.
No. Valek. Valek.
Valek. Interesting. Wait, Valek is the one who is the nun? Oh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
More you know.
They also founded the New England Society for Psychic Research in 1952. That's right, baby. Ghost hunting, but make it academic.
I'd go.
I would too. It is now run by their son-in-law, Tony Spira.
Spira.
I
don't know. I don't think their daughter wanted any part of it. I mean, she believes in that type of stuff, but I don't think she wanted any part of it because she grew up with it.
Yeah.
And it scared her. Like, to the point where I don't even believe she lived in the house.
No,
with
she
them,
didn't.
right?
She lived with her grandmother for the longest time.
Yeah. I can't imagine having parents as paranormal investigators. And with as much as they did.
And especially with the basement.
Oh my God. Knowing that you have like hundreds. Because the artifacts were in their basement before they got moved, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For real. Do we think that they were legit or just very committed paranormal cosplayers?
You know, I think it's a little bit of both.
Me too.
Ed said demonology like it was on his resume, and Lorraine just kind of rolled with it. And is that relationship goals?
Yeah. You know, if you're both on the same page, why not?
True.
So that's how their paranormal career really took off, using art as a haunted icebreaker and Lorraine's intuition as a supernatural GPS of sorts.
Turn right here. Demon.
Oh my God.
Ghost cat, no harm. Person stuck in vending machine.
It's like the freaking Teslas where people were driving up to cemeteries because it can detect people. And you just see all these people on the screen.
Because wasn't there one like with a motorcycle and there was like a little toy motorcycle?
Yes, because it was like a life-size motorcycle with a person, and then they got out of their vehicle and they went over to the tombstone that it was near, and it was a biker's tombstone with a little toy thing, and I was like, oh, that would I don't want a Tesla. That would freak me out.
I don't want a Tesla anyway because
you be driving down these back roads where we live, and then all of a sudden it's just like you see person here, person here, person here.
Nah.
You know, somebody I know said that they were driving down. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if I have permission to, but she had texted me and she told me that she was driving down 89 towards mom and dad's house in the rain, and she saw a person walking in military uniform on the side of that road.
I'm not surprised, but also
and I told dad, and he's just like, are you sure she didn't see a real person? I was like, I don't think so. Like, who is going to be out walking in the rain in like old timey military uniform?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been somebody, but at the same time, like, she was like, did I just really see that? I'm like, I've never seen anything on that road. But that doesn't surprise me.
No, not especially because that's a ridge line too, isn't it? Yeah, because
the area over where like the barn and the horses, the Bellaterra Estates, it's over in that area.
Well, because that's where Brenna lives on that street. That's the ridge line.
Yeah. I don't know what history those lands hold, but I think it was a ghosty. I would have pooed my pants. I've been like, what the? Did I really just see that? I would have turned around. Actually, I don't know if I would have turned around.
I would have, especially if it was raining.
Nope. He didn't even look at the car either. Apparently, his concentration was just forward, as if he was just marching. Yeah. So before long, they were the power couple of the paranormal world, turning haunted house visits into a full-time gig and building a creepy legacy one ghost at a time.
Ed and Lorraine Warren didn't exactly fill out job applications saying professional demon wranglers.
We should add that to our job applications or our resumes.
We can add that to the podcast information. You know, like the bio and stuff.
Yes.
Mine says slope slinger by day.
Soap
slinger by day. Paranormal storyteller by night.
I need to get with the game.
Anyway, yeah, they didn't put professional demon wranglers on their resumes. They just kind of stumbled into it. Ed grew up in haunted houses, which really makes sense. And Lorraine realized she had psychic abilities that made her the human version of a ghost detector.
Yep. So instead of running far away from the creepy stuff like most of us would, they leaned right in. They started investigating hauntings together, like the spooky version of a power couple. Kind of like Scooby-Doo and the X-Files had a baby. They traveled around helping people deal with ghosts, demons, cursed dolls, and other things that would make most of us sleep with a nightlight forever. Yeah.
I still sleep with a nightlight.
I watch a scary movie and I have to have a light on. Not gonna lie.
So I don't sleep with a nightlight, but my TV is on.
Oh yeah, the TV, even if it's like a black screen, it still like emanates like a little bit of a light, or I turn on like a little salt lamp or something. Or I'll even like flick on the bathroom light and close the door almost all the way. I have to have something on.
When especially too, I will never forget the first time when you had first moved into this apartment complex and you were upstairs. And the first night I stayed over, I was on the air mattress, but I had to have my head facing backwards so that I could watch the stairs because the stairs were so dark. And I was like, I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah, because unless you leave the light on, there's nothing. Which makes sense why you guys have the little strip lights that go down there. Yeah, that's actually really smart. Long story short, they made a name for themselves by turning things that go bump in the night into their full-time job, and somehow made it look cool and terrifying at the same time.
Honestly, though, like, I would not mind if that was my job.
No.
I think I would mind, but also, like, I would love to be able to do that full time.
Yeah, honestly. I think my ideal would be have our store and then by night, like, do our podcasty things and then also go and, like, investigate and just, even if it's not, like, haunted places, going and investigating, like, abandoned places and stuff, which...
We have some stuff in the
We have been doing some research, and there's quite a few places we're going to go and check out.
I'm so excited.
There's a lot of local places that we did not even know about.
Yeah, no. Like, well, and what's crazy is I knew about the website. By the way, a lot of abandoned places you can find at Haunted Arkansas.
Is it hauntedarkansas.com or something?
I'm a liar. It's not Haunted Arkansas. I lied to that whole thing. It's Abandoned Arkansas.
You were close. Abandoned, haunted.
But yeah, it's
hand in
I
hand.
think it's abandonarkansas.com. But they do articles and they actually get permission. That's the thing. Do not go to these places unless you have permission of all these really cool abandoned places and the story behind them.
Yeah. And there are so many places. We were literally just sitting there for like what? It was a few hours just going through all the places. We're like, oh my God, I didn't even know these things existed.
So we've got some cool things in the works. I think those will probably be videos, and then we'll do like a episode about our experience. Yeah. So you'll be able to watch a typical video if you're not really into the podcast thing, but if you want to hear our experience, you'll also be able to hear it in the podcast. You know, we're excited.
We'll figure it out.
Season 2 is going to be awesome.
Yep. I'm so excited.
All right, so let's talk Annabelle, the real Raggedy Ann. Yeah, that's what I get for making fun of you. Let's talk Annabelle. The real doll was a Raggedy Ann doll. None of this porcelain queen horror movie glow up crap.
She belonged to a nursing student, and she was a gift and soon started to move on its own, left creepy little notes, and once tried to strangle her boyfriend. Think it was her fiance. Casual, right? He was sleeping and had a nightmare that she was strangling him. And I believe you said that she was like crawling up him.
Yeah. So in his dream, he woke up to her at his feet, because we've talked about this in one of our earlier episodes.
Because you covered her.
Yeah. He could see her at his feet, and she crawled up from his feet all the way up to his neck and strangled him.
Strangling him. And once he woke up, he actually had marks around his neck. And as if he was actually strangled. He then picked up the Annabelle doll in front of the girls and threw it. And I'm not quoting it exactly, but he said something along the lines of, "You're just a Raggedy Ann doll. You can't harm anyone." Or can't harm anyone. And I'm sure he probably had like some like snarky way he was saying it. And then 7 scratches appeared on his chest. Annabelle literally was like, "I'm not going to do it." Just kidding. Yes, I am.
I did it, girl.
I did it, girl. I wasn't going to do it, but I did it, girl.
The Warrens swooped in and were like, "Yeah, this isn't a ghost. It's a demon pretending to be a little girl." Classic bait and switch possession move.
Yeah, I would freak the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Well, because they felt empathetic for the girl. That's the whole reason they agreed to let her reside in the doll and tried to keep her. Like, it preyed.
Well, the girl one of the girls who it was gifted to, she would even bring it up to the table. The doll would sit at the table. But I think it started, like, the doll actually started, like, lifting its arms up and putting it on the table.
Yeah.
As if it was sitting there with them. Oh. So, after all this happened, Ed and Lorraine, they got called, they got involved with the situation. They sealed her inside a glass case at their occult museum and blessed it weekly, like haunted Tupperware with vengeance. Still, that did not stop a few curious or reckless, might I say, folks from ignoring the Warrens' warnings. And wow, that is a mouthful. Warrens' warnings and tempting fate to see if she would react.
Yeah, that is a mouthful. And one guy, because they had decided to open up because the occult museum was their basement.
Yeah.
So they decided to open it up for people, and one guy decided to mock her and bang on the case like if it was a vending machine. Spoiler alert, his motorcycle did not make it home.
He died though, right?
He died, and his girlfriend was the only survivor, and I think she was unconscious for a few weeks. But she even said, like, it was the doll.
Well, because he was taunting the doll, and she was even like, "You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that."
And Ed had made them leave, which we've also talked more in depth about that in the other video. I don't want to go too in depth just because
we can link it so that way you guys can go and check it out.
Yeah. Others who got bold, taking selfies, cracking jokes, or just giving her the side eye ended up with mysterious scratches, a streak of terrible luck, or nightmares that made them seriously reconsider their life choices.
Yeah. Moral of the story: if you see a creepy doll in a case labeled "Do Not Touch," maybe don't test your Final Destination plotline.
Honestly. And I used to have like a little action figure of Annabelle, but it was in the little like you put her in the case, and I quickly got rid of that bitch. It was the porcelain
It came
doll.
with its own little case.
Yeah, she came. We got it at Walmart, and it was
What
like
the hell?
this tall. It came with a case, had the chair, it had the little tarot card, the death card or the devil card, I think it was, and the little do not open sticker and everything like that. And I swear to you, there would be times where like it was an awkward fit in there anyway, but I swear there would be times where like she'd be sat and then all of a sudden she's like leaning.
Was she plastic or was she like actually like
She's
material? Oh, I don't like that. No.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Let's be real though. What would you do if your doll started leaving notes?
Burn the apartment down and join a coven. Maybe.
Fair. Also, why did it have better handwriting than most adults? It would leave notes saying "miss me," "wanna play." I don't think "wanna play" was one of them, but "miss me" or "do you miss me?" all the time. It would leave notes.
Oh, I don't like that either. Nope. So the real Annabelle is just raggedy, and like she looks exhausted. Poor girl. Been through a shit ton, especially as of lately, and she's seen some shit, and she needs a nap, and not a film franchise.
Well, to be fair,
I digress. The films are pretty good.
We're getting the last film here soon.
Yeah.
Last rites.
But just to touch on briefly, the whole freaking her getting moved around?
Yeah. So she is on, well, she's not on right now. She's on a little break from it, but she has been on a tour.
Is she back at the museum where she was supposed to?
Yes.
Is she at the occult museum?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a, oh my God, this morning because we got on TikTok and
we had a fright.
This is another reason you should always check your sources. I got on TikTok and all over my For You page was Annabelle's gone missing. And I'm like, how the fuck do you lose a doll? And so I'm watching and I'm watching.
Not gonna lie, my heart dropped to my booty hole because I'm just sitting here like, oh
that
shit.
Is all I could find was just like, oh, Annabelle's missing. Oh, Annabelle's missing. Oh, somebody stole her from the glass case in New Orleans. Somebody stole her from San Antonio. Like, I even reached out to my mom and my stepdad and I was like, y'all got some crazy ass motherfuckers in San Antonio if they trying to steal this doll.
My thought process was somebody stole her to bring her ass to the White House. Like
oh yeah, because that's
saying.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, White House, because some shit's happened in New Orleans.
Jesus.
She has not been stolen.
No.
She is on a break from her tour now.
She's back home.
Her next stop is Gettysburg, which
I don't really like that. Leave them poor ghosties alone.
Well, to be fair, I don't think. First of all, Ed and Lorraine Warren did not want them being moved.
No, hence why they left the thing on her freaking case.
And I don't think she should be going on a tour to all of these because they're going to haunted places. Like each location,
they're going to haunted attractions where people are going to anyway.
And so I don't think they should be touring with her at all.
Well, not only that, but like it's one thing that you guys are bringing her to these places, and there's actual videos. Like they keep taking her out of the case, and it's like
literally says warning: positively do not open.
Do not take her out of the case, and like they don't know if once they take her out of the case that this thing is like leaving Annabelle.
Yeah, they have no idea
unless she's like somehow bound to the doll by something.
No.
I know it inhabited the doll, and that's why they kept the doll in a case.
Yeah, it was attached.
A demon.
Yeah.
I really don't like that because I feel like in a lot of these places, especially like Gettysburg, where there's these soldiers that are just kind of moseying along, like in like a, what is it? Oh, fuck, I forget every fucking time. Residual hauntings. They're just out there minding their own business, and you want to bring a damn demon out there? Like, no. She gonna cause a whole bunch of shit.
Which we have already seen.
Doll where it's supposed to be.
Like whether you believe or not, in New Orleans, the
plantation
plantation
don't believe in coincidences.
goes aflame, and then 11 inmates escape.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who will say otherwise, but believe what you want to believe. But it's just kind of funny how all that shit starts happening when she gets moved. Yeah. Leave it alone.
Leave it where it's supposed to be.
And shame on the people moving it around because at that point, you know they're just doing it for the money.
Well, and I honestly think
Ed and Lorraine are probably rolling in their graves right now. Like, what the fuck?
Well, because you used to be able to go into the museum, but then there was a licensing issue, I believe, kind of like the Conjuring situation.
There was too many people showing up, and
so well, it wasn't a commercial property; it was a residential property.
Right. And their neighbors and stuff started saying like, "Hey, there's too many people, too much foot traffic," and they eventually
because otherwise, I think Annabelle would have stayed put.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, she's just sitting in this place that nobody can come visit, so let's move her. So, but wasn't she in Zach Bagans' museum?
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily the real doll. I almost wonder if they do like the Declaration of Independence where there's multiple dolls.
Because I swear there was one at the Zach Bagans Museum because Sam and Colby went there, and I swear to goodness that there was an Annabelle doll there.
Either that or he sold it. Like he's rented her out basically to go on this tour.
Because he already has like a whole ass doll room.
But I think I saw something this morning, and I'll have to double check, where they were talking about how like there's multiple Annabelle dolls. Because like not in like possessed wise, but like they'll have like the fake one out on show.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, that's probably a good thing. So that way whatever's actually attached to the doll isn't being put around people. So I wonder if they're actually bringing the real Annabelle doll around. Or if it's just a placeholder. I don't know because I've seen videos of where they're traveling.
Yeah, they're
with
blessing her.
They literally have her covered, and they're throwing holy water on her as a priest is sitting there, like repeating the prayers. Yeah, I don't know why. Also, as we've been talking about this, I literally have Ed in my brain because you know how he was so obsessed with demons and stuff and proving that they're real. Like, what is it, Mr. Crocker? From
Fairies!
But he's like, demons!
Demons are real!
Demons are real! The devil is real! Demons are real!
I could see it.
That's just what I don't know why I'm so obsessed with the whole like fairies, demons. But yeah. Okay. So let's hit some of their greatest hits.
The Perrin family, aka The Conjuring, Creepy Farmhouse, Tormented Family, and the alleged witch named Bathsheba.
Mm-hmm. Lorraine did a seance that apparently made these things worse, as it usually did. And have you heard of the tea there now? The new owner is apparently insane.
Yeah, the last time
so bad.
we were gonna go.
Oh
We
my
were so close to
God.
booking tickets to go see the Conjuring house the last time we went to Maine. And then of course I look it up and I'm looking at prices, and that's when I go down the rabbit hole of finding all of these people. Like, she did a lot of people dirty, and now you can't
A
even
lot
go.
of people dirty.
Like,
Which freaking sucks, because we used to really like watching Sam and Colby.
Yeah.
And that's how, we found out about, I found out about a lot of these places.
I found out about it because movies.
Yeah. And they had went and done a tour, and they had an interaction with two people that I guess they had, or together they had an ability where they could communicate with the spirits.
Weren't they the original owners too?
No.
Okay.
No, they worked for them.
Yeah,
but they
that's
had
what it
found out whenever, you'd have to go watch their video, because long story short, they found out when they can hold hands, they can communicate with the ghosts in a really cool way. And they up and dipped.
Mm-hmm.
They left there, I'm pretty sure, because of the new owner.
Yeah.
And
People weren't getting paid.
no.
Um,
Oh, and second of all, she was sitting there saying that she didn't even believe in any of that shit either.
like, why'd you buy it?
Like, why the fuck would you buy, excuse my language, but like, why would you buy a famously known haunted place and not believe in that type of stuff?
You know, Elton actually offered to buy it from her too.
That really irks me. Well, guess what, bitch? Karma's a bitch, because now your place got shut down, which is very unfortunate for the people who liked to go there. And I don't know if the spirits are probably happy
Also,
or not about the whole
people
situation.
who worked there that loved working there. Like, they
Yes.
just lost their jobs because of this woman.
And they probably, they probably had a really good relationship with the spirits there too.
Probably. Especially if they were like consistent employees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the infield poltergeist. It began with a knock, then furniture moved on its own, toys flew across the room, voices echoed, deep, guttural, and inhuman. 11-year-old Janet Hodson, one of 4 children in a single-parent household, seemed to be at the center of the activity. Witnesses included police, local journalists, and paranormal investigators. The infamous voice that emerged from Janet herself, an 11-year-old girl, was named Bill, and it claimed to be the spirit of a man who died in the house. His tone was gravelly, bitter, and chillingly convincing. Over 300 people claimed to witness unexplained events, levitations, object manipulation, cold spots, and disembodied voices. Some thought it was a hoax, attention-seeking, or ventriloquism, and others saw it as undeniable evidence of a force beyond comprehension. A British girl possessed, lots of weird recordings, and the Warren showing up late like, we heard something spooky was going on here.
Didn't, because I'm pretty sure if any of y'all have watched the HBO Max documentary about all of their cases, which I would highly recommend because they dive a lot more into the cases than we do, and they actually have recordings from them. I'm pretty sure this, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure this is the one where like people started forming outside of the house. Like there's actual like poltergeist and all that kinds of shit going on. And somebody was just like, Ed and Lorraine, like, you need to get here now.
Yeah. No, there was, so cars would be lined up. People would be
Police were out there.
because this all came to light right after The Exorcist came out. If you know, you know. And so people thought it was automatically a hotspot. And I will say, and this is something that I think we could touch on in another episode. So Janet actually was caught doing tricks. She would bend spoons and stuff like that because she was trying to trick the journalists. And so I think she was trying to get people to believe her, but then she ended up causing people to not believe her.
Yeah.
Now, do I think an 11-year-old girl could come up with this voice? Absolutely not. And there are recordings of Bill.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where there's some controversy there. But yeah, no, it became a huge, huge thing.
My goodness. So it became a whole media circus. Honestly, felt like Paranormal Law and Order UK unit.
I would watch it.
Yes, same. And of course, Arnie Cheyenne Johnson case, aka The Devil Made Me Do It, a legit murder trial where demonic possession was used as a so-called defense, which it's kind of sad. I feel really bad because Ed was just trying so hard to prove all of this. And back in 1981, a guy named Arnie Cheyenne Johnson pulled the ultimate not guilty card. He claimed the devil made him do it. Literally, he had allegedly been possessed after a demon was kicked out of an 11-year-old boy during an exorcism that Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved in. Apparently, the demon needed a new Airbnb and chose Arnie, which, if I'm not mistaken, the 11-year-old boy that the demon was possessing was his fiance's younger brother,
yes,
who he was obviously really close with. And he essentially was telling whatever that was possessing the little boy was just like, hey, pretty much like pick on somebody your own size, like leave my buddy alone,
pick me.
And then it ended up attaching to him. So things escalated when Arnie ended up stabbing his landlord. And during the trial, his defense was basically, don't look at me, blame the demon. Shut on me about my life.
Yeah.
Blame a demon. And it was the first U.S. murder case where demonic possession was used as a legal defense. And the court didn't, unfortunately, exactly buy the satanic squatter excuse, but Arnie still served time and later married his girlfriend, who stuck around through both the demon drama and the jail time. Good for her. And good for him if that's actually what happened, because he was just trying to save his buddy.
Well, and like the fact that she stayed, honestly, like
she
saw some shit.
She
knew. So obviously it's not like he just decided to become a killer and kill her family and shit like that. Like there was more to it, and because of that, she stayed. She knew it wasn't him.
Well, in the documentary, if you guys watch it, they do have videos of them talking to her, and she was just like, no, like he was possessed, like that wasn't him. So, love and demons, am I right? So tell me that doesn't sound like a true crime documentary with a little sprinkle of a Satan.
Add a little spice.
Add a little bit of spice.
That's some extra spice right there.
Spice of Satan. So now the big question. Were the Warrens helping people or hustling the haunted?
Now, some will say that they exploited families. Others say that they brought awareness to real unexplainable phenomena.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like paranormal PR, except your client's a demon and your slogan is, don't provoke it. But on a real note, so I do feel like it started off with good intentions from Ed mainly, and I think the whole trying to prove that the devil was real or that demons are real really kind of overtook Ed. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that it kind of became an obsession almost. And the fame from the cases, I think, really just got to his head.
Yeah. No, I'd have to say I agree. I think it started with good intentions on Ed's side. I do feel like Lorraine came at it with good intentions as well. But I also feel like Lorraine's gift had been exploited. Like Ed pushed her and knew that he had an end to this and trying to prove that demons are real and the devil is real. And obviously he has someone who's clairvoyant.
Yeah.
So he's got that extra like ability to try to prove things.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like it was exploited, but it started off with good intentions. Mm-hmm. The Warrens would often put their objects in cases in a blessed basement that became their museum. So they were keeping it on them. Like if something was going to go off and happen, it was going to happen to them.
Yeah.
If someone gave you free reign though, to build a museum of cursed stuff, what are you going to put in there?
So for one, which unfortunately I do not have anymore, I would have put my haunted Jeep, Ladybug. Lovely
rest
Jeep.
In peace.
Yes. End of an era. So sad. But she had developed the infamous death wobble and made me think that the wheels were literally going to launch into another dimension. So freaking scary. If you guys have never experienced a death wobble on a Jeep before, she can attest to it.
Just go ahead and Google death wobble and look up the first YouTube
my
video.
Lord. When I tell you, I was sitting here just like, literally. And for those who are not watching and listening, just look up the death wobble. And I'd also probably throw in my cursed glass. I got caught up and I was like, I would throw in my eyeglasses because they vanish on a weekly basis.
Maybe that's
like they're trying to escape the realm entirely.
Maybe that's just because you forget where you done put them.
Shh. I blame it on them. ghosties move.
Me.
But Paranormal Activity, more like personally haunted. So,
honestly,
freaking Nat needs to go away.
It pisses me off. I think mine would probably be my Alexa device that honestly scares the fuck out of Ashley every time we do a Sunday late morning recording, because every day at noon it says today and the temperature is blah 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 blah, and it's a male's voice and it scares her every fucking time.
Well, it's because your husband is hardly home because he's out doing other things, and all of a sudden I can barely hear a man's voice, and I forget because we don't have an Alexa that does that, and it does that, and it scares me because I'm like, intruder? Do I hear what I hear? And she's like,
it's the Alexa.
And I'm like, fuck, you think I would remember this by now?
You would think. Next would probably be my grandfather's St. Christopher necklace. For those of you who don't know, that St. Christopher is often considered the patron saint of travelers. He sits in my car currently, keeping us safe from reckless drivers and the downpour where we can't see. Literally this morning, I could not see the road.
Lord have mercy.
But then again, I think he's better off in my car.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get to go to a museum. Sorry, we need you for travel purposes. Thank you. So the Conjuring universe has been huge. Multiple movies, spin-offs, haunted house tours.
Annabelle even has tours. She's booked and busy.
Yep. And even TikTok ghost hunters are kind of chasing the Warrens' aesthetic. Big energy, dramatic narration, and one flashlight between 5 people.
Oh, look, it's us, except for it's just 2 of us. All right. Favorite case of the day?
Honestly, the devil made me do it. That one, the courtroom chaos and the spiritual chaos. We love a good combo.
True.
Yeah.
Annabelle still haunts me. She's got that whole silent judgment stare, like a haunted grandma who saw you skip church. But I think the infield poltergeist is my fave because it's something about Bill Wilkins and the fact that Janet was actually caught trying to play tricks on the journalists.
Yeah.
I think that one's probably my favorite.
So what do y'all think? Do you think Annabelle was really cursed or just chronically misunderstood?
Send us your thoughts or your favorite Warren case. And if you've got your own haunted doll story, we definitely want to hear it.
So until next time, do not talk to haunted dolls. And if a medium tells you a demon is in your house, maybe don't host a seance.
Stay spooky, y'all.
Bye, besties.
Bye.
Thank you for calling the Afterlife Hotline, where the ghosts are chatty and the hosts are, well, questionable at best. Press 1 to replay this episode and question your life choices. Press 2 to summon us back next week. No Ouija board required. Press 3 to hang up, but let's be real, something's probably still listening. That's it for this call, but don't worry. We're like ghosts, we always come back. Until next time, stay spooky, stay weird, and maybe don't answer that strange knock at your door. Goodbye!